go back to your Bible and nature, thanks, theology and science. You talked about some disagreement with theology and science, and there is one thing that there is no disagreement on. Most of the religious leaders, both popes, John Paul II and Benedict, the Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, just to name a few, those who would have what you call the special revelation, were and are against the war in Iraq. And the scientific data, the general revelation, what you refer to here, has shown the empirical evidence of failure. In other words, thousands of U.S. casualties and tens of thousands of Iraqi casualties. Then why are we continuing with the war in Iraq? Vern, as our representative, a Christian, a man of integrity, and a scientist, can you please begin to view the war in a scientific way and look at the facts and also at what you call the theology of this, and why are we funding the war? Because funding the war is continuing the war. Can you pledge to vote against any further funding of the war?
Okay, that's a very broad question, one which could easily take the next half hour, but I'll try to be fairly brief. This obviously is a very complex issue. I have been portrayed in the press recently by a group of letter writers as someone who is an ardent supporter of the war. I had demonstrators come to my front lawn and hang posters on my house, and one of those was interviewed and referred to me as an ardent supporter of the war. That is false. By the way, my colleagues in Washington were absolutely astounded that anyone would come to my own home and demonstrate. That's just unheard of. That's just a side issue. But in any event, what if we do pull out? See, there are no simple solutions. There never have been. What if we simply pull out? How many thousands of people are going to die? Far, far more than we have now. In my view, on that particular issue, we went in, we made the mess. It's our responsibility to clean up the mess and try to ensure safety for the people before we leave. And that's my opinion. It's may not be widely shared, but we have a responsibility after having gone in there to try to restore peace so that the people there have half a chance of putting their country together and living in peace. There are many different aspects to the whole situation. I am not at all pleased with what happened. I warned the Pentagon before they went in what would happen because they were not at all prepared for what did happen. I predicted it right on. And I also had backing, it turns out. I didn't know it at the time, but the Army War College had written a report which said exactly the same things I did. Next question. Yes, sir.
I would like to thank you for the presentation. I really enjoyed it. My observation would be that it's very important for us not to just see where we are